The parasite ruining your rating experience. What the fuck is this? This has a very interesting title. Like, it has my attention, just maybe because I'm stuck in Party Finder right now, trying to prog. And I do get fucking prog liars at this point. The parasite's ruining your rating experience. Ooh, let's
Joining a
go.
raid group to practice the last part of the fight, but you never even get there. Sound familiar? What
Oh
if
yeah,
I told
it
you
literally just
not
happened.
everyone in the party has even made it that far before? And what if I told you it wasn't by accident? They're here, in this group, fully aware they shouldn't be.
Ooh, prog liars. They're very frowned upon. Temptation, basic understanding. Ooh,
What makes
temptation.
a player join raid parties that are tackling mechanics or phases far beyond their current experience? Isn't this choice counterproductive? Overconfidence often takes root after watching detailed guides and memorizing strategies for a fight. Players may feel prepared, confident that they can handle more than they actually can. While some can translate strategies seamlessly into gameplay, many cannot. Yet, regardless of skill, joining a more advanced party means reaching their own point of progression more often, accelerating practice and familiarity with that phase. Picture a raid group that has already cleared the encounter. In this scenario, success or failure often hinges solely on you. The seasoned members are far less likely to make critical mistakes compared to the players at your same progression level. This creates a tempting shortcut. Rapid personal improvement at the party's expense. But what if you're not the only one taking advantage of this?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what's happening right now in most of my groups. Cause like I write P5 practice, help me fucking practice P5 at this point. Like I'm at the point where I'm offering Gil to people to help me practice P5 in Fro. I'm so fucking tired. Like of groups like coming in, talking a lot of smack, checking each other's passports. Like even right now, it's like mid pool, people start talking like, "Has everyone cleared P5?" And some people start immediately, "Well, I'm on P4 in Rage. I don't give a fuck. We're not in P5." Like that might be sound mean. Like if they see in a Rage, they technically are in P5. So some people might argue, but it's like if you haven't seen P5, if you haven't touched a single fucking mechanic in P5, you're not in P5. I'm sorry. At this point, it's like I'm kind of fucking done. You're either in fucking P5 or you're not in P5. I'm so fucking tired. It's so stupid. It legitimately is so stupid. Prog liars are around, and I get the temptation of wanting to get carried, but like if we're gonna encourage the fucking like the problem is not even like with the people. It's with the raids. It's like there's like they how would I even explain this? Most of the time prog liars come in specifically for fights that are no longer like current active content. Like right now it's through in like the first raid tier. People are progging it, but people will join groups of far ahead of their experience, maybe sometimes lower. It depends like where you are in the fight. Depending which mechanics you're progging, but it's like it's mainly because it's like there's not a lot of options. Not a lot of people are making specifically a group for their experience for their proc point, and chances are when they do, they will need to wait for hours to fill it up. Because Square Enix did a very genius fucking idea of giving us the most boring start of an expansion. Hey, it's filled with drama because of the story. Sure, fuck it, why not? Whatever. As Zeppla fucking says, immersion rating or whatever the fuck she calls it these days. Some people have taken a break or left the game, either until the field operation or the next raid tier. Understandable. But yeah, it's like there's nothing to do. People who have cleared the content, they're already bored because they have nothing else to do in this expansion. So they're either not playing the game or they straight up just left and then subbed until either next content or never to come back. So it's like it's a bit on Square Enix right now. But like prog liars have existed before mainly because of the impatience and not just the temptation, just mainly impatience for prog. Because mainly their prog got grief. Maybe but maybe they're the problem because like we know people who have been in Party Finder for literally months. I like even like me and my group have discussed some people just because like there are some known names. And these people have been progging the same prog point in Party Finder since like last year, October, November, right? Actually, I don't. What did we check? I think it was November, one of those two. And because we checked, it's like, and they're still in the same prog point in Party Finder. At that point, it's probably just them, just statistically, because we see them constantly in Party Finder. Statistically, that's them now. if you're not moving from your POG point within a couple of weeks, chances are it might be the group. It might be the group. But yeah, it's like Prog Liars is like it's hard to tell what's like the good solution for this problem. The best solution, in my opinion, is to have an option to practice mechanics in game. To practice in mechanics in game, like every fight has certain gimmicks, even phases. Like give us the Sea Stone and Cloud. It's like it shouldn't just be to check whether or not you have enough DPS. It should also be to practice certain mechanics, like some gimmick mechanic of the fight. It should be you should be able to practice it even with the group. I don't know. It's hard to say, but like Prog Liars are around and they are fucking ruining my parties right now.
What happens when multiple players join with the same hidden motive? To explore this, let's visualize the potential scenarios with a simple table. When a player is truthful, they have two outcomes: progressing smoothly if the rest of the party is also honest, or wasting time on earlier phases if others are prog lying. On the other hand, a prog liar benefits regardless of the party state. If the party members are also lying, the group collectively advances at a pace that matches their true skill level.
Nope. Nope. They will not progress at the same at a steady rate, because this is already wrong, because they're gonna see that they're not reaching the prog point, because this is like happening to me right now. This has happened before in Party Finder. This has happened a million times, and I know people will agree with me, people who are actually in Party Finder. They will see that you're not reaching the prog point because everyone's just didn't get enough practice, or they're not as familiar with certain phases or certain mechanics, and they will dip. The party will disband. You're back to Party Finder. This is specifically like nothing. Like if everyone's lying about their proc point, nothing's gonna fucking happen. Nothing. You're gonna wipe a lot of times on mechanics you're not familiar with, and you're barely gonna reach the proc point. That is the usual experience. Because like if everyone's honest, and if you're close to getting to the proc point that you actually put down as the proc point, the one that everyone is aiming for, and you're not cleaning up mechanics up to that point, yeah, everyone will stay longer because mistakes happen. But when a lot of people do not understand the mechanics, a lot of people are lying, a lot of people are very confused about what they're supposed to be doing, or they're relying on things like add-ons to tell them what to do, or some other wacky nonsense, then a lot more mistakes are going to happen. And sometimes those mistakes are very, what's the word I'm looking for, like vivid. You'll see someone like just being absolutely fucking lost and confused what they're supposed to be doing, or they don't um understand their role in certain mechanics, and they will just try to kind of wing it, right? Or they just follow the group. That's also kind of an option. And it's like, but this usually leads to a lot of Party Finder just falling apart, because they just that you will see, just like in your brain, you will kind of have a general idea about like the percentage of chance of you guys reaching the proc point.
Even if it's not the phase advertised. A kind of silent, mutual understanding. Remember this for later. But if the party is truthful, the prog liar moves forward quickly at everyone else's expense. As the table shows, being truthful has mixed results, but prog lying consistently benefits the individual. This explains why prog liars are so prevalent in Final Fantasy XIV. Players don't need to consciously understand this. They only need to experience a few parties where they were honest and others were not. From there, they learn that if they want to make progress, they too should consider bending the truth. This concept comes from the science of game theory and is known.
See, it's not completely correct, because Party Finder culture is a bit different, especially in 14. Like that, if we're talking like, for example, Party Finder culture in World of Warcraft, maybe. um, because like they will see people's prog, but that prog might be on a different character or some other wacky nonsense, or they got carried, or it's like it's a lot less vivid in World of Warcraft. While in Final Fantasy 14, we need to understand that some people literally go into Party Finder for fun. If you check some like streamers or any other raiders, like even when they're not streaming, you will normally just find them in Party Finder, just trying to either help or just do prog, or just keep raiding. And Party Finder is like part of the raiding culture. Like whether you're in a static, at some point you're going to end up in Party Finder, either to farm mounts or in chaotic or any other wacky nonsense, right? So it's like it's part of our culture. So you're gonna have to deal with this, but the culture does include high-end raiders or raiders who have cleared the content already. So it's like it's not always like specific. Like this would include specifically just Party Finder and Party Finder people who like where none of the people have cleared the fight, right? But what if you put into this equation also people who have cleared the fight? There should be like several more people like those people could also be lying. They might be on jobs they haven't cleared the fight on, but they have cleared the fight, right? They have the experience, but they might be honest and they're only here to specifically help you get the clear. So it's like there's a lot of semantics to this. It's a bit more complex other than just four of these, but it's like prog lying in a good group with maybe a helper. Yeah, sure. In both cases, it might benefit this person, but people like finding the prog liar is very easy. So someone who's gonna it's like this is like a whole thing in our community. As drama driven as we are, we always find out. We always somehow will fucking find out. We will find out who is a prog liar. People will know your name. People will remember your name. People will now know either unknown 01 or they will remember your name. And your name is going to echo through multiple discords and people will know about what kind of person you are. Some people just simply know how to find out whether or not you prog this or not. Especially like if it's like a content creator or a streamer, it's like the moment people find out that this person is not really a dedicated raider or they are progging either using weird fucking add-ons like this was during Abyssus or somewhere in Endwalker, people like the developers of Dalamud decided to make that people who use that the plugin Splatoon, the plugin that draws the AoEs and a lot of the mechanics specifically on the ground, helping you like read mechanics a lot fucking easier. They decided that you can only see this like in game. It draws specifically over the game. It's no longer like a layer on top of your game, so you cannot hide it from streamer. So a lot of people were outed as like very shit players then. A lot of people were fucking outed. A lot of people found out that these people are shit. People find out that these people are dishonest. Eventually, somehow, people will find out. That is like the culture. That is the culture of like a party finder driven community, especially like 14.
Known as Prisoner's Dilemma. The conclusion: everyone should prog lie. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Thankfully, it's not that simple. Ask yourself, what happens if you repeatedly lie about your progress and impede the party's success for your own gain in a relatively small raiding community? To answer this question, we have to look at the iterated Prisoner's Dilemma. In it, there
Prisoner's Dilemma? What? Where are we going with this?
isn't just one round of defecting or cooperating, but multiple rounds. This means that actions have consequences and that behavior of participants
that is correct.
changes.
That is what I was talking about. Like, there will be consequences. Either the party will disband, or if you're like a continuous prog liar, people will know you. Like sometimes, like for example, I'm in Party Finder. I will like take a picture of my party, or I'll screenshot something, and someone will know to recognize a name. They will recognize, oh, they're from LPD, or they're a known prog liar, or something like those lines. People will recognize names. Those are the consequences. You are just going to be shunned. You will be laughed at. You change your names, dude. Every expansion, like after each raid tier, people make a fucking doc of people who have been absolute clowns in Party Finder. There's usually always like some weird fucking doc of people like quote unquote ruining Party Finder, but it's just a funny doc of like 12 people that just being very fucking funny.
Over time. In this game, either player can choose to cooperate or defect, and depending on the other's choice, points are assigned. If both players cooperate, they each gain 3 points. If both defect, they get 1 point each. Should only one defect and the other cooperate, the defecting player gets 5 points and the cooperating player gets 0. This mirrors the previous situation, where if there was just one round, the
Sorry, wait, hold on, I don't understand.
5 points and the cooperating cooperate, they each gain 3 points. If both defect, they get 1 point each. Should only one defect and the other cooperate, the defecting player gets 5 points and the cooperating player gets 0.
But why the defecting player play? Like this all is very nice and all, but like this is all insinuates that these people can be carried. That as if their prog specifically is guaranteed because other people are further ahead of them. It's not. Unfortunately, some mechanics require all 8 people to know what the fuck they're doing. Some mechanics require eight people to soak the fucking tower. If one of them is that one dumbass that doesn't, it's a wipe. People will know. These people are not getting their 5 Twinkie points.
This mirrors the previous situation, where if there was just one round, the smart decision would be to defect, as you either get 5 or 1 point, while cooperating only gives you 3 or 0. Let's analyze why always.
But why? What is the point system? I'm not like. Hold on. So what is the 0 here? So what are these Twinkie points? What is what I'm trying to figure out? So you get a total of 6 if you both cooperate. Because this again is a team game. It's like one person fucks up. It's like who gives a fuck? So you progged a bit somewhere, but you both prog lied. You got 2 points together. You get 5 just because one person progged, the other one kind of didn't. So you wiped, and this person technically has experience further than they are, or vice versa. It's I don't know. It doesn't work like that. I'm not sure what these points even like mean at this point. I get it's like you need like everyone pulling their weight together, but it's like I don't understand what this is like +1 to +1. Because if this is 0, this should be minus if both of them are prog liars. Because if both of them are prog liars, they're not progging to the prog point that they're joined for. There should be a minus here.
Just one round, the smart decision would be to defect, as you either get 5 or 1 point, while cooperating only gives you 3 or 0. Let's analyze why always defecting doesn't work. If you always defect, the other player will eventually stop cooperating, and over a large number of rounds you will only get 1 point per round. Players that always cooperate will get 3 times as much instead. That isn't the correct strategy either, since always cooperating will make you vulnerable to those defecting occasionally. The first order strategy that won against vulnerable
Defecting occasionally? What?
Players that always cooperate will get 3 times as rounds.
But like, what are these points? It's like, again, if they're all prog liars, or if they're not getting the experience, it's like it shouldn't be +1. Sure, they might be lucky get a +1 occasionally, but it's like it's not a guaranteed point. The system is very confusing to me. It's like I don't understand these points. Either this is too simple or too fucking smart for me. I don't know if I'm either it's like the whole like debate is a bit more nuanced, or I'm just too fucking stupid to understand basic like understanding of what is being explained here. Maybe I don't know. Like, can anyone explain this to me?
1 point per round. Players that always cooperate will get 3 times as much instead. That isn't the correct strategy either, since always cooperating will make you vulnerable to those defecting occasionally.
Again, like, why is the occasionally here? Why is the occasionally here? Because like, wait. So what if like both of them are prog liars, but one of them is further prog than the other? It's like I'm guessing like this is gonna be like 8 people with different like in 8x8 kind of like table. I can kind of see this, but it's like again, it's like I'm not seeing this. I'm not understanding why this is +0. If this is +5, this should be +1. Because it should essentially work on a total of points. So if +3 and +3, if both are doing good, it should be a total of 6. In this situation, if this person got more prog than this person, and obviously they didn't wipe, specifically if we're using the simplified math here, it should be +5 and +1 here. Unless I'm like, am I bugging here? But yeah, it's like, can someone explain this shit to me?
The first order strategy that won against all other early strategies was tit for tat. It is extremely simple.
I do like titties.
Cooperate in the first round, then mirror whatever your opponent did in the last round. The reason this strategy works well is because it rewards cooperation and discourages defection. However, tit for tat has one flaw. Random or accidental defections,
Uh
a
huh.
common occurrence in a real-life scenario.
People doing mistakes. Okay.
Tit for tat retaliates, and if the other player uses a similar strategy, will retaliate in return. This cycle continues and results in lower points for both. To break tat
Sorry.
retaliate.
Sorry. Hold on. I'm looking at the mechanic in the background.
However, tit for tat has one flaw.
It is.
Random
Oh, okay. Okay. What is this for? Why do you need this? Especially as a healer, why do you need this?
or accidental defections, a common occurrence in a real-life scenario. Tit for tat retaliates,
Sir, is this like in Party Finder? Like I'm trying to figure out because you're not even
and if
you're
the
going
other
into your
player uses a
corner, but you're not even looking which one of the horses is appearing first. Like, I'm sorry, but like, what's happening in the background here? Are you getting? I hope you're getting callouts. Otherwise, this footage is kind of weird and
similar
sus.
strategy, will
I don't know what the fuck a dissertation here is for.
retaliate in return. This cycle continues and results in lower points for both. To break this cycle, we need to modify the strategy a little. Instead of always retaliating,
Like, I would be stressing. I would be looking around, like, regardless if there's callouts or not. Like, I would be stressing looking at those fucking horses appearing.
forgiving tit for tat will sometimes cooperate even if the
Probably
other
just
player is
call it.
affected.
Just to clarify, I'm just being very fucking sus of everyone because I've seen so many people just being weird, especially every fucking Tuesday when we get a patch or emo fix,
With this change, the cycle
or every time someone needs the fucking PC restart, they need to reload their game before we pull. Anything else you need to reinstall, you asshole.
will be broken, and both sides can benefit from mutual cooperation again. While you could categorize this as optimization for the game, in the real world where misunderstandings and errors happen frequently, it is a crucial tweak. Speaking about the real world, try to transfer this theory to it. Someone always cooperating will be walked over like a doormat by more selfish people.
I mean, not in this situation. Like maybe in the business world, if they have the possibility to walk over your prog. But again, look, there's 8 towers. One of them doesn't know where the fuck to go. They're either gonna die or they're gonna wipe the raid. Again, like all these like philosophical like metaphors. It's like it is great and all. I just feel like maybe I'm just like overthinking. Maybe I'm a jaded old fucking man. Maybe I'm just a very angry person. But I feel like it just doesn't apply here just because of the nature of our raids.
Someone overly aggressive will find themselves without anyone that trusts them. If you approach situations with a cooperative and friendly mindset at first, but punish bad behavior immediately, you will draw other cooperative people towards you and push away bad actors. Now you just need to be forgiving enough to make sure a cooperative person that made an error or you misunderstanding their actions won't immediately cost you your relationship.
With what? With my mother? Wait, what the fuck? Hold on. Roll
You
back.
just need to be forgiving enough to make sure a cooperative person that made an error or you misunderstanding their actions won't immediately cost you your relationship. Let's translate.
Fuck them. Look, honestly, it's like be forgiving enough. I get it. It's like especially for another person that cooperates. That's called like just an occasional statistical like inconvenience. But what are we talking about here? Like I'm not entirely sure. What relationship is it gonna cost me? You did one mistake. I do not forgive you. Get out. I will blacklist you and tell all my family not to raid with you.
Translate this to Final Fantasy XIV. Be truthful about your progression. If others lie, call them out or kick them if you're the party leader. However, don't hold grudges. Be forgiving. Don't blacklist someone permanently. If they lie,
Do it. Bad advice. If someone's already a prog liar, chances are they've done it before. Chances are they've done it before if they're already doing this right now. I said, like right now, Party Finder is full of passport checks. Now that like Tombstone GG is like around, and like passport checks are kind of like mandatory because people can now check actual prog. And if you're a prog liar, fuck, you will be blacklisted. There's no way around this now. just because of the appearance specifically of like, okay, for those who do not know what Tombstone GG is, let me show you. Tombstone GG. Hold on. Does it show? Yeah, it shows. So Tombstone GG is a website that simplifies looking through logs. So let's say we're going to look at my character, Loki Lavender. That's my character, right? That's me, the little shit. So now, when I join groups, let's say P5 through Prog and Party Finder, people can look at this and know how far I am in the fight. How far I am, like obviously this is a health bar, but it's like if it's like, for example, 2%, that means I'm kind of like on enrage ish. I'm close to the end. That means I somehow got to the boss in a rage, right? You can get an idea from this. They can also check encounters. Sorry, not encounters, activity. Meaning they can see how much practice I've been getting. P4, P3, P5, P2. See, I have clear Cloud of Darkness. P4, P4, P3, P4. So it's like people can now check more in a more simple, in not simple, but like in a more simplified ways, your prog, and whether or not you're fucking honest. Even if you reach P5, but like just the testicles, you kind of grabbed it and you've been there. Like that's already better, like better than I'm P4 in rage. You know, people can now check, and now and it's essentially it does what fflogs can do, but it saves you a lot of time by just generalizing and simplifying some of the information that you're looking for in logs. Now that this is around, fuck me, if you're a prog liar, you are so fucked. You are so fucked. You will be blacklisted regardless of this advice. You will be blacklisted because now like everyone in 14 community is so like wary of anyone who might be prog lying, because that essentially means future grief if they find you again in Party Finder. Like right now in 7.2, people are going to go back to Party Finder. People who don't have a static or anything else. Field operation as well. There will be Party Finder groups for that as well, or in Discords. Right? And people are going to be trying to clear a fight as soon as possible. Some people are psychotic enough to do a Savage tier week 1 in Party Finder. Right? I know some I know some people like a friend of mine that played before Pato. He cleared Abyssus tier week 1 in fucking Party Finder. The man's a bit like, as we call him in the writing scene, mentally ill. But he's done it. But he would kick out anyone who doesn't pot on pool for DPS, who doesn't have food buffs. Like, he was very strict. And imagine if people like this, because he's not alone, there's multiple people trying to get clears as soon as possible in Party Finder. Imagine this if they also were checking your prog, how far you're in the fight. Tombstone GG specifically became a thing in Dawntrail, this expansion. I think it appeared like at the end of Endwalker, but it's now properly a thing that people are utilizing very actively. So if you're a prog liar, you will be blacklisted. You will be. I'm sorry. Whether you like it or not, like as forgiven as it can be, like I will forgive you, but you cannot join my parties anymore because you have already done the thing where you were not honest with me.
Light, make a note, but after some time, give them another chance. Remember
Nah, fuck 'em.
earlier when I said there can be this unspoken mutual.
Remember that what I said, like people will find out, and because people find out, the reason people find out is if someone does something more than once. If someone is a prog liar, sure, maybe like blacklisting him straight off the bat. Maybe I'm being a bit too dramatic. But if I see them more than once doing the same thing, they need to get the fuck out. People will recognize their name because they probably didn't just join my group. They probably joined somewhere else. And at some point, several months again, they will be one of those stories where you're talking about this party finder. You're going to send someone a screenshot. They will see the party and they will say, oh, you're raiding with this dude. They're a known prog liar. Do you really want to be the dude who's being discussed as a prog liar somewhere in the back alley?
Mutual understanding when everyone is prog lying. If this is the case, as we saw with the Omega protocol during patches 6.4 and 6.5, you can get completely stuck by being honest. Party or phase 5 start, is simply a party for cleaning up phase 3, and everyone knows it.
It's similar right now. Like P4, P5 prog parties are pretty much cleaning up P1 and P2. I don't know how. Like I had a party like that today during the afternoon. I made a party. Everyone has seen P5. I've confirmed it. Some of them have seen P5 in Rage. They talked a lot of shit. They're like, I know this is a practice party, but I'm here for the clear. And it's like we're practicing P1 and P2. Somehow that is being fucked. Somehow people are just not doing mid. Sometimes they did a mistake, but it was mainly mid. Someone was just ignoring the general party finder mitigation sheets, and we were dying. Like I was GCD spamming, but some mechanics, it's impossible for healers to GCD spam without actual fucking help.
When this happens, try to stay as true to your point of progress as possible and shift which parties you join slowly until they fit your progress. Use fflogs and tombstone. These
Yep.
websites allow you insight in the progress of other players without them wasting your time. Still apply the same principles from earlier. Give them the benefit of the doubt. If they claimed they prepared and practiced, believe them. If it turns out they lied, retaliate, but do not hold a grudge against them. There will always be people using others for
Like obviously, vengeance and holding a grudge against someone, it's kindergarten drama. No one's gonna have like that fucking deep of a drama and just go specifically just go out of their way to be volatile towards someone just because of fucking prog lying. It's a video game. What's gonna happen is people will kind of mention you if they recognize your name. Otherwise, they will just literally forget you ever fucking existed. No one's gonna hold grudges. Nobody holds grudges. They either try to just not have to deal with you, which is where the blacklist comes in, or no, that's it. Pretty much, they will just try not to deal with you. No one is out there holding grudges. Maybe one person actually holds a grudge, but that's a different story. I'll tell you guys another time.
personal gain. The more do it, the worse the situation gets, until eventually party descriptions become meaningless and everyone suffers the consequences. The only way out of this vicious cycle is to not participate in it and lead by example.
What does that mean? Hold on. Wait, hold on.
Eventually party descriptions become meaningless
Let's-
and everyone suffers the consequences. The only way out of this vicious cycle is to not participate in it and lead by example.
So what? Not prog lie or like I'm what? I'm not sure if they just got like a book of quotes or they're just too smart for me. I just feel like some of these like quotes just don't fit what we're talking about. It's like it would be the same if we start bringing Sun Tzu philosophy into Party Finder rating. It's like I guess we're kind of fighting, but it's like it's just not that kind of war that we need this, the art of war philosophy for.
One question remains. How do you identify someone who is lying about their progress? The most immediate sign is that they will likely struggle with earlier mechanics and appear lost during the mechanic your party is working on, if you
Yep.
manage to reach it. However, it's important to note that many players learning to fight will exhibit
Where you-
similar
where?
behavior, so this
Where
alone is
you-
not the most reliable indicator.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. I was distracted by what's on the screen. Where was he going with that
How
fucking
do you
tether?
identify
I was so
someone who is
confused.
lying about their progress? The most immediate sign is that they will likely struggle with earlier mechanics and appear lost during the mechanic your party is working on, if you
Mhm.
manage to reach it. However, it's important to note that many players learning to fight will exhibit similar behavior, so this alone is not the most reliable indicator. The safest method to confirm a player's experience is by checking their data on sites like fflogs and Tombstone. These tools can potentially reveal exactly how far a player has progressed in a fight. However, these sources are not foolproof as they rely on recorded runs. Players can also hide their logs or activity on these sites, limiting
Yeah, but people who hide their logs just don't get to join Party Finder. I've kicked out 3 people just today. Just today. Because especially for ultimates, like I will if like you can see in my description here, passport check. As vague as we want to be about what the fuck that means I'm going to be checking your logs. These people have joined. I'm going to check their logs after I'm done with the video. But essentially, it's like if you don't have logs, if your logs are hidden, for whatever reason, whatever fucking reason. It's like it's not my responsibility to figure out for what reason you have hidden your logs. What are you trying to hide? My responsibility is to try to get this party going towards victory in the clear. If you've hidden your logs, I'm sorry, you're getting booted. You're getting kicked out. It is not going to be my responsibility to get a read on your fucking personality in your prog just because you joined my party. If you don't have logs, if you got those hidden, I'm sorry, you're getting the fuck out. And if you're gonna give me a weird response, you're also gonna be blacklisted, right? You're gonna be blacklisted. I'm sorry. If the response is gonna be like one of the weird ones, like I don't know, I forgot my login, so I can't, unhide my logs. Fucking, why are you joining Ultimates? You know you're gonna be passport checked. That is a shit fucking response. You figure it out right now. Like even today, it's like I had someone join. It's like they're telling me like, oh, I cannot unhide my logs because I forgot my login credentials. First of all, I don't know why you hid your logs in the first place. A, that's already sus. B, I'm gonna remove you from the party. You can rejoin once you remember your password. Otherwise, that's not my problem.
limiting their effectiveness. Ironically, the act of hiding logs in Tombstone can be one of the clearest indicators of a prog liar.
Oh yeah.
If a player struggles with mechanics, appears disoriented, and has concealed their logs and activity, it's a significant red flag. Another potential indicator
That's honestly, it's like hidden logs usually means they want to prog lie actively, or they bought a clear. They bought a clear. Like if you're gonna be that fucking reaper, you know who you are if you're watching the video. They're gonna tell me how cool it was to clear top and how like easy it was with your group that you cleared in like a week or so. And I'm gonna find out you fucking bought the clear. You might as well fucking hide your logs at that point. I might as well just be suspicious that you're just prog lying and not buying clears. But but it's not difficult to find out that someone bought a clear either.
is their attitude. Most honest players will own up to their mistakes
Mainly because people who sell clears also socialize with us.
during a practice party and, if asked whether they know a mechanic, will respond with a simple yes or an explanation that they made an error. On the other hand, prog liars often display an inflated ego and poor attitude. They may react defensively or even aggressively when questioned.
Okay, that's just reading too deep into this. If they're going to get emotional, they're going to get angry, they're going to try to blame someone, they're going to gaslight. It's like no, it has nothing to do with them being a prog liar or like the situation of like how your prog is going to progress. We already established they have a shit personality. Some people are good raiders and they have cleared the fight, but they also have shit personality and will try to gaslight people. Shit people can be good raiders, unfortunately. It is not the law that you are on the same prog point only because you're admitting mistakes. So all these like emotional things like the kindergarten drama where people just like get emotional defensive or whatever, it's like it's not informative or whether or not they're here to help you prog.
That they made an error. On the other hand, prog liars often display an inflated ego and poor attitude. They may react defensively or even aggressively when questioned about their experience. Let me give you an example. There was a Dark Knight who joined a party for top. I was in this party to help two players clear the fight. The party was specifically aimed at duty completion. The player had both their FF logs page and Tombstone hidden. They were doing fine until the last phase, where their lack of preparation became evident. They threw their entire mitigation on the first Cosmo dive. 4 tank busters in top phase 6. 2 Cosmo dives and 2 wave cannons. The Cosmo dives are far less threatening. So this made no sense. They then proceeded to use their invuln on the first wave cannon. With the warrior as coating, this is clearly wrong, as an end.
Oh, this is what I hold on. This is what I had to deal with today. Like people were just not aware of their mitigation. So some things were just over fucking mitigated out the wazoo. There were just too many cooldowns on that. And when I really needed everyone else's mitigation, it was just non-existent. People were dying. Even like I even like saw it. So like when was this? on LP on knockback. I spread low, and I also threw in. No, wait, hold on. I'm trying to remember which mechanic I might. It was either mirrors, like the laser. I don't remember. I remember I seen that we had like no other mitigation other than my shields, and I also threw an expedient, like a good like minute early before I had to actually use it for something else, right? Not a minute. I don't know. I remember that was a situation of me panicking, right? And people just don't know the mitigation. Like people will join for the LPDU strat, but they will not check the mitigation sheets that are being recommended to people. Fucking. Now hold on. My party is actually filling, and I need to passport check these people. Rias and Tucker. I can play CT clean. Nope. Hold on. See what I mean? It's like this person DM'd me like P4 in rage. I can play CT clean. Get the fuck out. I don't care. Right. So as you can see, the person had to leave because they were not in P5, and I am very tired of dealing with people who just have not touched a single fucking P5 mechanic, but they're joining P5 into clear group. It's getting old now. It's getting very old. Actually, you guys didn't see anything that was happening behind the screen. Fuck it. Whatever. At least I didn't dox any names.
Any tank configuration
But yeah, mitigation sheets are like very public things.
with a warrior, the warrior will always invul the first wave cannon. Tanks are supposed to invul one wave cannon each to free up their short mitigation for their co-tank. This Dark Knight went through the effort of hiding their FF logs and tombstone, but not through the effort of memorizing their mitigation properly. Meaning they spent more effort into deceiving others and abusing them for personal gain than learning the fight. Due to the severity of this case and the fact that they were a repeat offender, I decided to give them a permanent stay on my blacklist. This example.
Didn't you say not to blacklist them and give them a chance in the future? I mean, good on you. I agree with this decision. I just feel like you're kind of not supporting what you said earlier.
Discuss the importance of judging the severity of a Prog Liars' actions. Someone joining a savage party one mechanic ahead and being a little worse than the average player in the party is probably not worth a major response. Someone with a selfish attitude, deceiving, lying, and sabotaging the clear of players in a 19-minute fight repeatedly, that's worthy of a permanent spot on the blacklist.
That is true.
Through the lens of Prisoner's Dilemma, they are an aggressive defector, so do not let them.
Has this person gone to jail? what is this like Prisoner's Dilemma, the prison philosophy? I'm very confused. I could play P5 without. Look, okay, so just to clarify what just happened. So I had a person who, like, DM'd me. P4 in rage, I can play CT clean. Very bold claim. So obviously I also confirmed this. They, like, I need to do a passport check. They have not seen P5. So they don't know how P5 works. I know for a fact that P5 mechanics go at a different pace than what they are in simulators. So whatever the fuck they're simulated in P5 is not enough. I need them to actually have seen P5, at least like the first like 3 mechanics. I need them to like see the Excel lines, the tank buster. Sure, the tank buster might be not too hard, but like the I don't remember the mechanic, the one where you gotta like get hit, dodge, and swap. It's like, or like not even that. Just see like the first 2 mechanics. But then like it's like we figured out like you haven't touched P5 at all. Sorry, can't fucking have you. Now they're like responding. I could play P5. Like what the fuck do you want? You haven't been in P5. It plays different speed than the sim. You can't prove that you can play it without issue. Sorry, but no. There you go. I'm trying to be polite, but it's like if they're actually like you guys actually hold on. Let me remove this picture. This glorious picture. Like I could play P5 without issue. How are you going to prove this to me? You have not seen P5. No answer? Like, do I owe these people an answer? Technically not, but I will still explain why I cannot fucking pick them up. Like in ultimate prog, like holy shit, do you really want to be the person that's like, I've simmed it. I think that's enough. I bet I know the mechanics. I bet I can do it without issues. Like, if you haven't even been in the face, how the fuck can you prove this to me? I like prog liars are very frustrating. Like because I have had to learn that prog lying is fucking cringe. Mainly because like I prog lied during my UCA prog, and I've learned like the hard way that people will fucking frown upon you and call you cringe if you do that. And I have learned since then like I do not prog lie. I will be fucking patient. You died to access and didn't see more, but okay, good. What the fuck do they like? They're showing me attitude. What do you think that's gonna like end up with? That's gonna end up as a blacklist. Like add to blacklist. Like there you go. Fucking like what do you think that's gonna accomplish? Sassing me. That's it. That's what that's gonna accomplish. All right, back to the video. That's enough ranting about that. Let's finish this video.
Them take advantage of your cooperative attitude.
Yeah, fuck them. Do not let them take advantage of you.
That's the only way they might choose to change their own attitude. If you see a video of mine in your recommendations, click it, leave the tab open, watch it later.
Like just because you're enraged, it doesn't mean like what was even the enraged? Hold on, let me check their fucking enrage. Let me check their enrage. Their enrage was 1%. Okay, so they might have done CT. Cool, neato. Actually, let's check how often they have done CT correctly. How often they have seen enrage. Is it just been one time? P3, P4, P4, P2, P3, P4, P4, like, and okay, let me clarify. Let me just fucking clarify that I'm not just being mean to someone who has seen. I'm very tempted to just unblock them just to respond them, but I know like the deed is done. I know that the deed is done. It's like, when did they even see the enrage? I've not even seen when they even saw the enrage. So they saw enrage ages ago, and they're giving me shit. Unless they saw the enrage today, I don't know. But it's like, okay, no, hold on. They had helpers. I recognize these names. They definitely had helpers. Yeah. P2, P4 with 50%, P3, 20%, P4, 20%, P4, 25%, P4, 25%, P4, 50%, P4, 25. Okay, when did they even fucking see 1% is what I want to see. When did they see enrage? They haven't seen enraged weeks. Why are they giving me shit? No, fuck. Actually, no, I'm not. The moment I get heated up and want to respond to them, it's like the terrorist wins. No, no, we're gonna stop there. We're just gonna finish this video. It's actually making me upset right now, just because of like how many days in a row I've been dealing with this. This is actually
But
stupid.
that's something you can do for me if you like my videos, other than your typical like and subscribe. See you in the next video. Menari out.
Cool. I think that was a good video. Very confusing, but I feel like at least like the end part of it where they tell you to blacklist prog liars, I think that was a good part of the video. I think that was a really good fucking part of the video. Good.